thing here, what is this?
I made a pick college of Russian officials stating that NATO is not a threat to Russia and how NATO is a boogeyman. NATO was used as a boogeyman, and it was about, you know, conquer Ukraine.
So this guy Andrei Kozrev, he says
Mm-hmm.
NATO does not pose a threat to Russia.
Yep.
This article quotes Bondarev told CNN that the invasion of Ukraine was about destroying Ukrainian statehood, not about a genuine security threat. Um, Gurulyov, a retired general, said that NATO's threat is not as severe as portrayed, suggesting Russia's military focus on Ukraine was driven by territorial goals rather than countering NATO aggression. Anyone else important here?
Um, I see the former state TV editor. There were other people. I listed.
Speechwriter.
Yes, Putin's speechwriter.
She argued, or he argued, that the Kremlin uses NATO as a boogeyman to distract from domestic failures and the Ukraine war's cost. Foreign Minister Kozrev has made a statement against Putin's lies, says NATO is not a threat to Russia. Nobody threatens us in Europe. By definition, these are our partners and friends, and we must integrate with them. This former state TV editor said that the Kremlin's claim of a NATO threat is a lie to scare Russians. Yavlinsky said NATO expansion is an issue that the Czechs, Poles, and others have to resolve. Russia has no right to teach Warsaw, Budapest, or Prague, or anyone else which alliance to join. No country has the right to tell another country what to do. Yavlinsky, opposition party, he said Kremlin's NATO threat narrative is a pretext. Now that's incredible because this isn't that exactly what Putin said and
Lavrov too.
Lavrov.
Yes,
So what did Lavrov
and
say? This is 2005.
I showed you that
Break it down for us. What did Lavrov tell us?
quote. That's their choice. We respect the right of every state, including our neighbors, to choose its partners to decide for themselves which organization they want to join. And the question was, does the right to sovereignty also mean for Georgia and Ukraine? For example, that Russia would have nothing against their accession to the EU and NATO.
Wow. So that's incredible coming from Lavrov, who's the main spokesman justifying the war based on NATO expansion. So in 2002 and 2005, all of the top Russian officials are green lighting NATO expansion, saying they have no issue, it's their choice. Putin said that too here, right? He says, at the end of the day,
Mhm.
the decisions to be taken by NATO and Ukraine, it's a matter for those partners. I'm convinced that Ukraine will not shy away from the processes of expanding interaction with NATO.
I
So,
think I know. I think I know why they greenlighted at that time, but there was no promise not to expand it. I think the reason why they greenlighted is because they had pro-Russian politicians at that time, like Yanukovych. Yanukovych at the time, he was prime minister, and they had President Kuchma. He was pro-Putin at the time, and he changed his mind on him.
so this is what the Russians do. So they say one thing one year, and then they flip it the next year and say, "Now we get to do brutal aggression against you because we changed our mind."
They
Um,
changed their minds more than they changed my socks.
yeah. So it's just incredible that prior to this invasion, Russia is saying exactly what everyone thinks, that these countries have a right to decide for themselves about NATO membership, not Russia. I mean, if we applied that standard that a different country gets to decide your NATO membership, then Morocco could just kick up a storm one day and say, "Hey, we don't like that Spain's in NATO. Spain should leave NATO," and Spain would listen to them, really. It's
No.
ridiculous to give a neighboring country control over your security affairs, but that's what Putin's demanding.